Appreciate you, Brady. We are back live in San Diego. Boise State Director of Athletics, Jeramiah Dickey, always gracious to join the Bronco Roundup Game Day Show. How are we doing tonight? Happy Friday,
well,
too.
Yeah, go Broncos. I'm pumped.
So, my understanding, you had a chance to look around this venue a little bit. We're going to take a tour of this place on the pregame show in just a second here, but what do you think? Because this is a little bit of the talk of the Mountain West right now when it comes to football venues.
It's a beautiful venue. It started with the dream, and, you know, it's very much a mentality that I think our department is living, and it's given us a lot of great ideas. You know, a lot of similar concepts in terms of the North End Zone facility and what we want to do with the east side. I'm understanding it takes time, but it's possible, and they did a really good job here.
You know, the thing that I kind of take away from this is, you know, it's somewhat quaint.
Yeah.
But it just seems realistic, though. Like, it doesn't necessarily have all the bells and whistles of an NFL stadium, but man, does it have everything you need to watch a football game in comfort. Some of the luxury boxes would be accommodating to boosters, but it just feels like something like this would thrive in Boise.
One, we would kill it in Boise with something like this. And it was needed for them, and I understand why they did it. And the entertainment value. We talk a lot about our industry and college athletics, and ultimately the entertainment value, it means something. And you see what they've done here. There's something for everyone. And I absolutely agree with you. You know, it would be massive in our community.
So I've noticed that we had Cody Gogler on last week's Bronco Roundup Game Day show, and he's been posting pictures that he's been traveling the country apparently to gather ideas for what you guys want to do in terms of some of your North End Zone renovations. What is he gathering from that, and what are some of the ideas and topics that you've liked so far?
You know, when you look at innovation, which is something we hold ourselves to that standard, right? It starts with what others are doing, and we take those ideas and make them our own. And so they got to hit Utah, Wisconsin, U of A, and Arizona State. And just looking at the ingress-egress of these facilities and how they're serving their student athletes, how they're creating more entertainment value, which we just talked about. There are a lot of great ideas. Utah has done a great job, you know, in their facility, and that's something that both Cody and Nate have come back with, very excited about.
It's so interesting because some of the renderings that you've released, you know, you come to places like this and it almost brings it to real life. When we went to Central Florida a couple years ago, they had those luxury boxes that were field level.
Yeah.
We've seen some of those in your renderings.
Yeah.
Here they have this business suite that comes right down onto the field behind the San Diego State bench. We've seen that before in renderings, but man, you come here, you experience it, and gosh, it would be cool if something could connect and come together like that in Boise at one point in time.
Yeah.
When we talk about innovation, you guys, again, stealing the headlines when it comes to a topic that kind of blew everybody away almost. When it comes to realignment, you can either go with the flow or come up with a new idea. And right now, you guys are trying to complement whatever the future holds for you with maybe a new idea.
Yeah.
I know Mike Walsh was very influential in coming up with this plan, but a potential merger with what's left in the Mountain West, or with what's left in the Pac-12 and what remains in the Mountain West, and potentially a relegation system, which is popular overseas with soccer.
Correct.
What can you tell us about this idea?
Well, one, this is blue turf thinking. This is who we are as an institution. This is who we are as a department. When we went out and created this team around Walsh and this business and innovation team, these are the ideas that come from those concepts. And you know, when you look at what we're navigating on in college athletics, we have to think differently. We cannot let others define the expectations for us. And I'm not sure where it goes, you know, but at the end of the day, and who's included, I mean, there's so many moving pieces of this. At the end of the day, we have to think differently. And I do believe in relegation. I believe it works. I believe it's something that will drive more content and valuable content for the networks, and we need more resources.
So if you look at this, I mean, basically, I know these are hypotheticals that we're kind of speaking in right now, but if you had 16 teams, you have basically 2 leagues, and you're playing to get into the upper league, which would provide you more money and greater access to maybe other bowl games and things like that. And every year, there would be a couple of teams at the bottom that would swing down to the lower league, and a couple of teams at the top of the lower league that would get a chance to play with the big boys, if you will. There are some other ideas to this, too, which is kind of almost like last-second matchups, or matchups that you deem fitting for a moment in time. And it's so funny, JD, in a time when you've scheduled out till 2033.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, there can be a convenient moment where we get a matchup in the Mountain West or the Pac-12 or whatever it's going to be that you really conveniently need. What other ideas excite you about relegation?
Well, you said it. It drives the value, right? We're creating matchups that is forcing institutions and departments to continue to invest and find additional resources for the betterment of the student athletes, for the betterment of the fan experience, for the betterment of our communities. Right? So to me, that's the biggest value. As we talk to networks, as we talk to other people within the industry, that's what continuously comes up. What other value can we provide? And you're starting to see that, right? You're seeing interviews during games, with college football coaches. 10 years ago, I don't think that would have been possible. Now you're seeing it. And ultimately, as the industry professionalizes, whether we like it or not, this is the hand we've been dealt.
Yeah.
And I would prefer to define our own expectations and find a path forward that best fits us.
I don't know what the timeline on being able to pull something like that off. I know that TV contracts and networks have to get on board with it and all that stuff, but my goodness, I think it would be unbelievable for the game of college football, especially here out west where teams back east keep stealing teams from out west. Maybe on an easier topic to talk about, just recently the basketball schedule finally revealed. Man, did Leon Rice and company go out and schedule one heck of a preseason slate.
Yeah. You're seeing it, Jay, and since the day I arrived, that was something Leon and I spoke about. And the more we invest in the program, the more we best prepare them for these teams, and especially these Quad 1 games that we're playing. Leon is all in, and I can't say enough about him because it's really helping us drive the value of our venue and for our season ticket holders, and we're really excited. This sets us up for success, and that was the goal. And it's not easy. It takes a lot of work, and scheduling in basketball is maybe more difficult than in football, which is saying a lot right now.
Right.
But very excited for our schedule. I think our fans are going to be excited for it, and that's the team we have. I'm confident in what they're doing, what they continue to build on, and the future is bright.
It's interesting when it comes to the basketball schedule. Mike Burns does an unbelievable job of really figuring out how it works out. It's not just scheduling a name brand. It's getting into, who's going to fit into what quad at the end of the season. In the last few years, the work that they've done have really helped put them in a great position to make those March Madness tournaments. I know that there necessarily isn't a big headline name that's going to be coming to the City of Trees to play this season, which probably fans would love to see. But there is a marquee matchup that you're offering to kind of grow your brand throughout the state that, again, another unique idea for you guys.
Correct. Yeah, when you look at St. Mary's, I mean, that just like we asked East Idaho to come to us, we're going to them. And I think that does create an opportunity, as we are the front porch of the state, and we're going to take advantage of that. I also think when you look at scheduling, we're getting more home and homes, which traditionally we haven't.
Right.
So you're going to have Washington State come back in. You're going to have Clemson come in. And so we're also looking to the future and continuing to drive that value for our fans.
Yeah, not to get too far into it, but that's the thing about having a respectable program. I know that teams might balk at coming to Boise because of Leon Rice's impeccable record at home. That being said, though, if you come here and you win, you get a great tournament resume building victory.
That's
if
right.
you lose, it really doesn't hurt you that much anymore. So it's good to see what they're doing. It's good to see Bronco Nation in attendance here. Speaking of your fan base, I'm not going to lie, 10 a.m. kickoff, I feel like pushing over 35,000 last week exceeded the expectations. You guys are darn near 100% capacity there if you combine the two games together. A little over in game one, a little under in game two. What have you thought about the turnout so far? It's going to be a couple weeks before you get everybody back to the house for a party.
Well, Bronco Nation is listening, and you're gonna make me get emotional. This has been a grind, since the day we arrived, and I'm so proud of our fan base. 10 a.m. people told me we play too late, we play too early, the weather. There's a million and one excuses, and bottom line, we're finding people to eliminate those reasons and show up to support this team, support these student athletes, and to support us. And I am so grateful for them. Last week was amazing, and opponent didn't matter, time didn't matter. People showed up, they stayed. How about our students? That's 2 games in a row that we're getting 5,000 plus. I think we had over 6,000 the first game. I'm just proud, man. This is what we've been working towards, and people are embracing that, and I'm excited for the next game.
When we talk about attendance, sometimes the students are overlooked, so let's give them a moment here to give them a little bit of a shout out. How much effort have you gone into building that? Because over the years, it has certainly improved, and now over the first couple of games, you guys are almost being forced to expand the area that they're normally confined to.
That's right, and it's forcing us to think differently as we move forward. How do we get them better seats? How do we get them across the sidelines? You know, these are ideas that come from people coming to games. One, the Corral leadership, our student-led organization, they are killing it. They are doing a tremendous job. They're activating our student base, and that's huge for us because that's our future pipeline. These are the people that are buying tickets and season tickets and tailgating, because people say in Boise, once they get there, it's an amazing place, right? I love it, you love it, everyone loves Boise. They say, and they're gonna come back. So it starts with our students, and then we talk about our marketing and promotions team and our football external pod. You know, this work started last season as we were preparing for this season. It's not something that happens overnight. It has been a continuous thing. You saw it in basketball last year. Students were showing up. Cannot say enough about them. That's our future, and I'm proud of them.
I know you're proud of your fan base. I know your fan base is proud of you. You want to get some easy retweets or likes or whatever on Twitter, you just talk about the good job that Jeramiah Dickey's doing at Boise State. It works out pretty well. Jeremiah, we appreciate you joining us, as always, on the Bronco Roundup Game Day Show. Finish your tour. If I took you away from it, I apologize, but enjoy game day.
This is worthwhile. Go Broncos, and thank you guys for being here.
You bet. Jeramiah Dickey, everybody, the Director of Athletics at Boise State University.